And so I would
he's
expect
in his lane, he's moisturized.
Yeah, I would expect the first pick Poppy, right? We have seen such an incredible rise from Yuyanjia on this pick, and if it's open, I expect them whole-handedly to pick that one up. The Renata also banned from Rare Adam, as you said, kind of leaves a lot of those picks on the table. We still have the Wukong available. We still have a lot of these other big picks that RA can choose to pick in the 1-2 when they get this response.
Yeah, the Sylas is the other big pick that's open as well. So with this Poppy, I'd imagine a potential Sylas Kalista. But I think, again, Poppy does so well into a lot of those picks that are the strong ones at the moment. Like Sylas gets caught out by the Steadfast Presence. Wukong gets caught out by the Steadfast Presence. It's why we're seeing Poppy rise up as so strong, is that she can do incredibly well against the meta picks for each of the lane. Even when you look at, like, hey, the Kalista that we're talking about, kind of sucks against a Poppy, doesn't it? Because you want to hop about and you just CC yourself. So Rare Adam are kind of playing into the hands of this with taking the Wukong. Maybe we get the Sylas here for Strive as well, but it still will end up with EDG maybe getting a Kalista here for themselves if Leyan ends up going for something like that Sylas, or you're still giving across some of these big counter picks at the moment to EDG regardless.
Yeah, I think that's the hardest pill to swallow, is no matter which way you look at it, there's still going to be some very strong picks left on the board for EDG, and they've already gotten one of them, right? We get the Azir, though, as a response to game one from RA, and to be piloted by Strive. We'll see if he can do a little bit of the same setup that Scout was fighting last game, because he did earn himself an MVP and was a crucial piece to EDG really picking apart that game.
Yeah, I'm curious exactly what the game plan is for EDG. I think these Sylas could still work, although Azir has a pretty good matchup with the push into that lane, which makes it very hard for Sylas to find early skirmishes. But the Ahri can get out of lane and try and find impact in that early mid jungle, and it feels like that's what EDG are trying to set up here. I am curious now to see if we get the Kalista picked up here, or if EDG are trying to bait a Kalista and then go for something like the Draven. We've seen them go for Lucian Namis, these kind of things, but it looks like they're just going to go straight towards the Kalista anyway.
I think that works perfectly fine for them. They'll leave, obviously, the second phase to be decided. Still looking for a top lane, still looking for Meiko's pick, but I think they'll be just fine with this. They'll get that aggression in bottom lane. Aphelios, looks like RA trying to copycat a little bit from game number one from EDG to say, hey, if you can do it, we can do it, right?
And I think if you go like something like Aphelios Nautilus, you can do reasonably well into the Kalista. Having that point-and-click CC helps out magnificently. But you'll have to try and just play on the back foot, at least for the early stages, because this Kalista will still have a good amount of control. EDG, though, very much playing towards this like strong mid game with an Ahri, with the Kalista. Good opportunity to look for picks. So Rare Adam, as you can see here, going to ban away these big engage tools on the bot side, like the Amumu. Maybe they actually ban a Leona or Nautilus themselves if they don't really want to pick that on this next rotation. And just ensuring that trying to find these fights for EDG is going to be a lot more difficult.
I like the split focus, though, here. I think you do have to take away some of those power picks from Meiko, and especially the things that go well with the Kalista, that multi-engage, multi-CC there, trying to take that away from them. The Gwen, though, nice pickup in terms of bans for EDG. As we were seeing, Cube was like one of the only things that was working out for RA in that last one. So trying to even up some of the gameplay here in terms of that top lane matchup, and RA actually ban away the GP.
Yeah, because I actually thought that, with the Gwen ban, EDG are eyeing up a Sejuani pick for Flandre. Again, kind of playing into that CC, engage, strong mid game. But going towards the Gangplank, kind of saying, hey, look, we don't want anything that can scale into late game and still cause issues for the Azir and the Aphelios. But I don't know if that was the best one. I think banning the Sejuani was probably a better option, because if EDG are able to go towards the Sejuani here, or maybe Cube takes it away, well, then you're still having a strong fight here for Edward Gaming.
True. I'm actually interested at the Braum ban final by EDG, trying to take away something from Yuyanjia to counteract that bottom lane a little bit more. But now we're pivoting to potentially an Ornn top for Rare Adam, but maybe a little bit of that tankiness to coincide with the rest of their damage-heavy composition. They do get that, so a little bit more of that late-game insurance policy.
Yeah, and it's kind of like calling out Edward Gaming. So it was like Rare Adam read the Sejuani lock, and we're like, look, we will go towards the Ornn. If you go towards Sejuani, Ornn scales better and actually has a reasonably good time in that matchup as well. So it means you're going to be a good spot. So Flandre looks like he's going to have to try and mix it up a little bit. May actually go towards the Gragas, and if you are going for this AP style Gragas, does have that strong mid game we're talking about, can have decent engages, good flanks if you can get, as well can cause issues with the explosive cask. So looks like EDG, and he's trying to teeter into a slightly different style, but here is that engage tool that we're talking about on the bot side. They're hovering the Nautilus, Leona, Rakan, all these work very well.
Are we just seeing, is this where we're just seeing EDG throw up their hands in front of RA's face and say, hey, hands diff, yo? Like, at this point, it just feels like they're playing with such an aggressive tendency in this one with the draft they've grabbed, and they are, like, obviously you already said it, like, RA are like, okay, the ball's in your court, can you get this early aggression? But honestly, for EDG, feels like a task they can well handle, especially now with that Nautilus locked in. Returned by the Tahm Kench, though, for Rare Adam.
It definitely feels like EDG are just saying, hey, we can beat you whenever, wherever. Last game, super late game scaling coming through with Azir, the Aphelios, these kind of things, playing towards that late game with the scaling. They give up some of these early objectives to make sure they can hit that. This time around, EDG are going, we will beat you in the mid game. We will fight you at every objective. We will fight you wherever. We'll fight you at the beaches, whatever that Churchill speech is. They will fight you because they have to fight you. They want to be able to make sure that they're hitting that strong in the early to mid game. And I'm looking a lot at how Yuyanjia on this Poppy will be able to link up with Scout in the mid lane. We'll be able to play down towards this bottom side, enable Viper, Meiko. So we're going to be seeing if EDG can live up to that strategy here.
Now, did we get the check marks, Dagda? Let's check in before we get into the game. Is stability bottom lane? We got a Tahm Kench, all right? We got a Tahm Kench. We got an Aphelios. How are you feeling? Are you feeling we're set up for success down there for iBoy and Yuyanjia? Think we're doing okay?
I am a little bit nervous because I personally think Aphelios is a great answer to Kalista when it's paired with something like the Renata, or you're on something that can actually kind of like feed into playing aggressive. The problem that you're seeing is that when you've got something like the Tahm Kench, you don't have access to that Devour in the early stages. It's incredibly difficult to try and lock up a Kalista in the early stages as a Tahm Kench because she's got so much mobility. So this is where when you've got Meiko there with it as well, I'm a little bit nervous about iBoy. Strive as well on the Azir means he's going to be less impactful in the early stages because Azir's skirmishing isn't great. He doesn't really have the ability to oftentimes find success in those fights in River. So across the board from Rare Adam, it feels like they're just going to struggle in the way their composition interacts. But if EDG can't get these early leads, I mean, late game, Ornn, Azir, Aphelios, Tahm, Kench, like their late game is insane. It's just a case of trying to get there.
Well, we got to see if RA can get there, if they can be a bump in the road against EDG as we kick off game number 2. RA, we're looking for a little bit of spice level 1, but will not find it this time around. And I love that you said, big win conditions for both teams. Obviously, EDG have a little bit of the execution ball in their court. They need to get a lead running. They need to get skirmishing going. They need to get Yuyanjia out onto the map. I did like to see how, mobile Scout was last time on the Azir. On the Ahri, that level 6 mark will make it that a little bit easier. So it's all about execution burden for EDG, and for RA, sitting back, you gotta stay stable. Do not let any cracks happen in the wonderful glass that is Rare Adam.
And that crack, for me, for EDG, is going to be trying to abuse mid lane. Scout, great charms. You can have Yuyanjia come in, can't really get away as Flandre, just doing Gragas things in the early stages. But the problem for Strive in this mid lane is like, okay, a lot of the safety that comes with Azir is, hey, I can push as bot lane.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to go very well.
I just want to get my point across.
Why are you taking so much damage? The flashes come out. He's got the red. Oh, it's so close. That is the confidence level. That is where Viper was sitting there, arms crossed in the draft. Give me Kalista. We will smash this bottom lane. And they are already proving that point now. Leyan, the firefighters have to come because the fire's already burning down the house.
Yeah, I mean, EDG going to be able to back away from this one and make sure that they're totally fine. So Leyan now going to slow his clear, which only opens up Yuyanjia now to have a much easier time to try and make his own clear work. Skipping out on his wolves for the moment, he's going to go straight to his red. I think we might be looking for Yuyanjia to go for a level 3 gank on bot side and abuse the fact that Yuyanjia has no flash on this bot side.
Yeah, the fact that EDG plainly saw Leyan do that pathing where he just kind of walked down towards bottom lane, was on vision the entire time, walked back up towards top lane. That gives so much power to Yuyanjia in this clearing setup, and especially when he's looking to focus and ping pong between this mid and bottom lane.
Oh, we've got both junglers bot. Leyan will finish his Grump. He will have hit level 3 off of this, and that's where you can see iBoy and Yuyanjia desperately trying to help him, because Yuyanjia's going for the the invade, but this is really smart from Leyan. He knows that this dive is coming, and he wants to be here to stop it.
Viper all by himself, though, because Meiko has gone up, but he's able to kite away here, and here comes the rest of them. Yuyanjia tries to go up, and
Yuyanjia.
I don't know what you're doing at that point. They're going to find an easy first blood, delivering the fried catfish here on a Saturday night, and EDG find 2. Yuyanjia on the board, double kill.
Yuyanjia,
no! It's a I was about to say, that's 3 kills. Like, that's it. GG easy.
I mean, it is easy. Let's be realistic, Yuyanjia. But, like, you're a catfish, and Yuyanjia basically saw the hook, tugged on it, and just held on as he was brought up for the fisherman. Like, this was SpongeBob and Patrick playing with the hooks in SpongeBob, and Yuyanjia just wasn't expecting to end up getting caught on one of them. And it ends up being such a disaster for them, because this is where I think it's a really smart play from Leyan. I love the fact he read this play. Like, really, really good understanding from Leyan of what was about to happen. Tries to use the red buff as well to get the slow, but this is such a massive mistake from Yuyanjia. He sets himself up perfectly against the wall for the hook, for the charge coming through from Yuyanjia. And the thing is, they already know Meiko and Yuyanjia are there.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
the entire time that sweeper has been going off, like, it's on that ward, so they know they're in that vicinity. So Yuyanjia just way overextending, and because he'd already burnt everything in that level 1 trade, he has nowhere left to run to.
And it just feels like a little bit of desperation there, wanting to try to make something happen, but not realizing everything that was in play for EDG. And I think we were talking about stability. The cracks in the glass already happening here for RA, and we were wanting stability around the bottom lane, but little did we know Leyan would come down there and would end up in catastrophe. And it just means that it's that much harder to play around in this mid game that we said was in EDG's favor.
I mean, screw the mid game. The early game just sucks now. Viper already with his boots. He's going to be able to get those super long hops off, chase down iBoy. Makes it very easy to, like, play into that trading pattern of the Kalista. Auto attack a creep, throw a couple of auto attacks into your opponent, and then hit the rend, get the reset off the creep, and just continue following up. So iBoy and Yuyanjia massively now on the back end of this. So we're going to have to see if Leyan can try and help out. But as you can see, right, already Yuyanjia pushing in mid, helping Scout get control. So now they get to lean bot, which prevents Leyan off these resets of his camps on the bot side from actually being able to play onto this bottom side of the map. Yuyanjia as well, considering starting up Dragon as Scout moves out of this mid lane.
We got level 6s from mid lane as well. Yuyanjia will find out Leyan here. Scout is here first, has the Spirit Rush available. As you will see Strive sticking to mid lane, but EDG back away, realizing Leyan will be a little bit tough to deal with down here in the tower dive. As they turn onto the Dragon here, I don't see Strive actually come down, so it looks like RA do choose to give this first Dragon up.
Yeah, so a nice passenger play there by EDG. Like, you get Yuyanjia hovering mid, allow Scout to get pushed so then he can lean bot and help out on this. Strive had cleared out the mid wave, but there was a massive wave crashing on the bot side for iBoy and Yuyanjia, so they just knew that Rare Adam wouldn't be able to try and contend, and now
it just is a series of unfortunate events. I mean, that'll be a flash burn from Yuyanjia yet again.
Look, at this stage, it's kind of like Rare Adam been told, don't put your hand in the fire. They then put their hand in the fire and go, well, how was I supposed to know? Like, this is kind of
hot, Dagda, it's hot.
Yeah, and look, EDG are the ones that keep burning them, because now again, they're forced to back away. Flash burned by Yuyanjia, and you're giving more and more control over towards Viper, who has that 10 CS lead for himself. Yuyanjia, very far forward. You can't go.
Meiko is so destructive. Like, he is literally just mind gaming them here with this corner. It's been demonstrous. Like, it is crazy how much you see this lane be played out specifically just from these kind of brain plays. It's not necessarily just a full-on engage every time, even if we are seeing that too.
Yuyanjia gonna be caught again. There's the rend.
There's no flash this time. He did use the exhaust though, so that'll be a nice ticket out of there. But Yuyanjia right back towards bottom lane because he knows he can punish this. And iBoy, speaking of punish, taking a ton of damage. Yuyanjia wants to go for it. Meiko goes in, has to flash away from the tower, and Viper will help get another kill. Yuyanjia shows up just in time, and nobody is giving Viper the kills, but it will be just 5-4-0 for the bottom lane focus of EDG.
It is a bit unfortunate that Yuyanjia's picking up all these kills, but this is magnificent from EDG. And look, I know it didn't come into play, but when we see the replay for this, I want to discuss how well EDG were playing around their levels there. Because you see Meiko going for that play, and you're like, oh my god, Meiko, incredibly low. this is a very risky play, but they already know Viper gets the kill for iBoy, hits level 6, and it means that Meiko is never really in any sort of danger. So Yuyanjia now going to trot his way back down towards this bot side, hanging his head down in shame. But we'll catch it in the replay here. So watch. You've got level 5 for Viper. Every single time Viper's trading, he's making sure that he's getting these resets on the creep. You can see here, hitting this back creep, then gets the double rend off. Again, is making this life really uncomfortable. Meiko going in, but as you can see, Viper has just hit level 6 off the back of it. So there's never really any threat here for Meiko. And then as Jiejie goes in again, Jiejie just... damage from Poppy just too strong apparently. Viper, wait, what the heck?
Okay. Leyan getting on the board with a solo bolo over Viper.
I mean, level 6 for Leyan is incredibly strong, but it looks like he just caught out Viper.
That's really where they wish they had those 4 kills on Viper. But hey, something that Viper will lodge a complaint with later on. They did almost catch Scout out, but that Spirit Rush will be there just to get him out in the nick of time. Yuyanjia, iBoy playing with a little bit of confidence down here.
Especially when they know they have the advantage. Yeah, so they gave red buff over, and I mean, just a great read. I don't know if there was a ward. I can't see the minimap that spotted Viper there, but that's heartbreaking.
The knockup during the blast code from the Cyclone feels bad. Oh, that was really close. But yeah, hey, big pickup for RA. They're on the board now. They shut down, or maybe it wasn't a shutdown since he's got all assists, but they at least get a little momentum off the bottom lane of EDG because they were just snowballing down there.
I mean, it will kind of slow it down a little bit, but as you said, no kills going across the Viper, so he hadn't got the shutdown. Unfortunately, that Viper doesn't get to keep the red buff because that would make this lane essentially unplayable for iBoy, but still, good control for EDG. 2k gold lead, dragon in a minute's time, they're getting control over river, and they're just going to continue stacking this, and this is what we're talking about for EDG, like keeping this game rolling early, playing down towards these dragons, facilitating Viper and Meiko. This is the EDG way, and again, it's Jiejie unlocking Scout to help facilitate that in so many of these cases as well.
It's actually been incredible to see that unlocking factor that we kind of mentioned earlier, and the fact that it just feels like EDG are playing to what we've seen them be successful with so many times in the past, in the recent past as well. It just feels like, Jiejie, Yuyanjia, at this point, it's the aggression that matters, and between them, Yuyanjia is just coming out on top, especially when he's on this Poppy. Yes, he's picked up a lot of the kills. He's got 3 already, but it's been the movement around the map. It's been the pressure that he has put down consistently, and now it's objective control. They had the Rift Herald, they got the first dragon, and now they're giving Viper even more gold.
And I love that we're seeing this return to form for Edward Gaming, especially when we're talking about the World Championship contention coming up soon, because you're looking at JDG, who have been making a statement for themselves, taking down V5, saying, hey, we are going to be looking to take one of those spots. V5 have been up in favorites for those spots alongside Top Esports and Ornn. EDG were supposed to be battling with JDG to take one of those positions, but the story has kind of been lacking where they haven't been able to find that success. But now with Yuyanjia coming back, they look revitalized and they look like they're going to have to take this fight.
Hey, look like he was verdict. They might get okay, they only get the one out. But it's the one that maybe matters a little bit, as iBoy is no longer in the fight there, and neither is Leyan. So EDG move in, get the second dragon. Here comes Cube though. Hits 2 of them with the Horn of the Forge God there. Nice little barrel. We'll be getting the rest of RA out of that fight, and EDG just throw that as a parting gift, it felt like, to RA.
That was a great combo coming through from EDG on the initial play though. So Meiko hooks, even if it was the real Wukong, right? You hook the real Wukong, you actually get to kill him. If you don't hook the real Wukong, you get the clone, and it means that you actually open up the space for the Keeper's Verdict to hit on towards Leyan, so they get the dragon. And the fact that they're able to get out of there without losing people as well is fantastic for Edward Gaming. Problem though is there's a lot of members of Rare Atom on this bottom side, and you can see Yuyanjia trying to sneak his way into this bottom side, taking the long route down to support Viper and Meiko as they return.
I like this though, but Yuyanjia, yeah, I like the bodyguard aspect right now coming down from the bottom lane. It will be just a clear out of this minion wave here. Scout and Strive going at it here. Charm connects a little bit late. The Spirit Rush, 2 charges available. Wait, Yuyanjia gets caught and he's stopped. There, iBoy gets devoured, but he's out of there now. Get a little bit of damage back. Moonlight Vigil, melee range onto Meiko, and they are picking apart RA piece by little tiny piece.
Again though, I don't understand how we're getting caught on the bot side. It looked like they were completely out, but maybe a flash, well, not even a flash, just a depth charge coming through from Meiko, catches Yuyanjia and iBoy, and now that tower goes down, Rare Adam try to make the play. EDG sniff it out and put it in its place.
All right, put it in its place is exactly right. Prim and proper. It is looking good up there for them as they place it, because EDG just come in, and no matter what RA is looking to accomplish, no matter what they're trying to pull off, it is just steady increase in gold, steady increase in lead for EDG. And this is the dominating performance I wanted to see from this team when they are on the verge of locking summer playoffs, when they are on the verge of fighting for a ticket to get back to Worlds to defend themselves. And now we see some of that engage from Meiko, the beautiful combination of the Fate's call into the dredge line.
The straight line flash from iBoy makes
bad.
it
Come on,
heartbreaking.
I wasn't
there,
gonna do
gets
it.
caught out. And then the ultimate with the depth charge finishes him off. So great play again from EDG, and just understanding again how to collapse. And
oh my
Viper?
God, Viper. He's in a 2v1. He's about to have a bunch of help here, though, as well. Viper is dipping. He's dodging. He's diving. iBoy, you're in some trouble. He misses the caliber. Feels bad again. It's just a constant for iBoy at this point. Strive is trying to get some damage down. Keeper's verdict going to come out here from Jiejie, but he should get the reset on that one. Leyan, what are you doing? He's in some trouble. Scout almost caught him there. Gets the charm in the end, and here comes the rest of EDG. Leyan, you got to get out of there. He does indeed. TP now coming in from Cube. RA, a little bit of split calls here. Yuyanjia was going back. That was huge. No, Jiejie, you got to get out. Keeper's verdict. It's not enough. Jiejie goes down. That's second kill for RA.
oh, the blue buff stops Jiejie from being able to take the gate. And it means that he does end up falling. It was almost daylight robbery from EDG, but instead, Rare Adam will catch the perpetrator in their jungle. Now, EDG just trying to establish themselves on this top side, as you do have Riptower coming up in just a moment's time. But again, EDG, look at the items they have coming through. This early spiking team has the Mythic for the Kalista, has the Divine Sunder there for Poppy, the Andrew's Anguish picked up for Flandre on the top side. There is so much damage for Edward Gaming right now that even with Jiejie getting caught out, there's just no way they can contest this Riptower.
Yo, love that Viper call in the picture-in-picture. Take the Hex Gate, go onto the flank of iBoy and Yuyanjia. Was actually huge. Maybe a little bit zealous by Viper, but we will see them transition to this top lane, transition to the Rift Herald. They'll pick up yet another objective for themselves, and this has been very much in control from EDG as they find themselves almost 5,000 gold in the lead.
And look at the clock on the top left of your screen. 50 seconds until the dragon. You reset. You look for dragon. That's third dragon. Now, well, I started feeling like I was getting into that Old Spice ad there for a second. But
I was waiting for it. I was gonna, where's the horse? Where's the race car? I need all of it.
Yeah, look up, look down. I'm on a dragon. EDG are going to start pushing it again, having control over this mid lane. Scout was pushing the bot side, just trying to contend with Cube, but again, now already grouping up. It feels like EDG want to try and make a pick happen before this dragon. Flandre has the teleport to get down towards his objective, and pings are going on to that ward in the bottom of the river.
RA are the ones pinging here as well. Meiko not going to hit with the dredge line. TP's now coming in. Leyan taking a lot of damage just from the charm combination there.
Flandre.
Oh, that's the double flank. The Dipperoonie here. I don't know if he can get in there. Big cask comes through. The Keeper's verdict, everybody's flying every which way. Meiko doesn't hit the Fate's call there. Flandre pushed back by the Emperor's Divide. Meiko goes back in. Viper is still firing away, though. And they try to get the AoE with the Cyclone, but Moonlight Vigil from iBoy comes in a little bit late. Strive still putting in damage, still goes down, though. And EDG somehow, some way, pull out a scrappy fight and come out on top yet again. That'll be third dragon in a row.
EDG might be low, but they're screaming no as they will turn over towards this dragon. Third one of the game for Edward Gaming, and they still have that Rift Herald in Jiejie's back pocket as well. It was a close fought fight with a very scrappy engage coming through from EDG. Like, Strive gets hit here, Explosive Cast sends it back into the team, but the follow-up just isn't quite there. So Strive actually managed to get to safety thanks to Yuyanjia, separates out the fight with Flandre, but Viper again isn't really in a position here at the start of this to follow up on a huge amount of this, and a lot of the damage is situated onto Viper right now. So eventually, as Viper joins in, EDG can turn this one back into a more favorable position. But all that's said and done here is you've got 4 kills onto Viper, great control for Edward Gaming. They're going to push in. I imagine top side, it's actually going to be Flandre who moves up there to push that one in. And then they just plunk. As you can see, the Rift out in mid lane. And they're actually just going to try and 5-man this. They're not even going to try and get side waves in order for it.
Scout catching Leyan on the side. Flandre at the flank. The cask over to iBoy. There's the Emperor's Divide, though, to push Flandre back. But the re-engage from Meiko is right there. These fights are every which way. And now we're seeing EDG slam it home here. Big Horn of the Forge God there from Cube. The charge still completes. iBoy, he gets taken out by Flandre on the side. And that's never where you want to see your stable ADC as we wanted. But it is unfortunate for RA as they just keep finding themselves digging this hole, Dagda.
Yeah, EDG are well aware of how far ahead they are. Usually you'd see teams pushing side lanes and then go for that play. But knowing, hey, we can actually just brute force this no matter how many people of Rare Adam are around. And it starts off very well with them being able to force the flash from iBoy, which then just sets up for another charge onto the mid tier 2. They're getting that top tier 1 as well. And this is just fantastic from Flandre. Great cast, sends it into the waiting hands of Meiko, but iBoy is able to flash over the wall. But that just means that iBoy ends up chasing Flandre for the majority of this fight, while Scout is pushing forward, threatening the vulnerable members of Rare Adam underneath their tier 2.
iBoy, poor iBoy. He just body slammed
to
death there at the top side. He was trying to get around the wall there, but couldn't get back to his team. Now Flandre, I guess we just go right back to his camp, because he's still putting up the aggression on Leyan, who was trying to pressure this topside tower, but they still won't get it. RA only have one outer tower taken down. The map is 100% in control of EDG.
Even the vision. EDG are already starting to push in here on this top side. Get vision for Baron. Viper can push mid. No real problems. And you can see that they try to pick Flandre in the replay, but
he's a Gragas.
You don't get to pick a Gragas. Yeah, it never ends up working out. And now EDG looking to see if they get stride, but at least getting control over this top side means they can now play between the mid lane where they can put pressure with Viper, and then leaning across towards this top side to try and take the tier 2. All while Scout is having full push on this bottom side to make sure that with the safety he has from that ultimate, that who tries to deal with him on that bot side, no one can really catch Scout on this Ahri.
Something else is you got to think about the Ren stacks, and when it comes to the Baron here, we got a lot of pings from EDG, but they're just baiting RA, and guess who takes the bait first? It's Cube! He's taken out slowly but surely. Viper gets the kill, and Yuyanjia was just the extra side dish to the mutton chops that EDG's just devoured.
You're not supposed to have lamb and fish in the same meal, but you know what? EDG are totally alright with that. And now, as they start to move back over, EDG still baiting here, actually.
Meiko gets so close every time. But they're just starting up the Baron because they can. And Leyan needs to find a way to get maybe into the pit. If he can try to get a steal off, that would be huge. iBoy is now coming in, has the Calibrum and the Severum. Not exactly the combo you'd want, but with that range, maybe you can get some damage onto the Baron. You see Meiko and Flandre waiting for the flank on the side there. There's the Keeper's Verdict, and GG easy, say EDG.
You know, sometimes you end up on a ride you don't want to be on, and that's exactly where Rare Adam are, because iBoy, the nightmare doesn't stop.
It feels so darn bad, and now it's just dominoes falling. EDG have their sights set on the summer playoffs, and it ain't going anywhere soon. That's EDG taking yet another fight.
And now they got the push in mid, they have the Baron, they got it all. And Mazel, we said it once, I'll say it again. Timer in the top left corner is dragging, and already EDG were flying high. A Hex Tech Soul is available for this squad. Slowing auto attacks for a Kalista, for Scout, for Flandre. This is disgusting for Edward Gaming.
Can I just get, I know we highlight him so much, so this kind of feels bad to continue to do so, but maybe we will get stopped because iBoy just took a Hex Gate and almost just died to Meiko. Viper, man, he didn't get any of the early kills. He didn't. He was 0-0-4. He had all the assists, and yet he's coming out, pulling out all the stops. And EDG are looking to pull out the stops onto RA. They have caught them out. I don't know why you even took that Hex Gate in the first place, RA. And now the team fight maybe just going their way. iBoy has the Infernum. He's able to do a lot of AoE damage. Viper is now going away, though. Viper is still alive. He's trying to kite, but that's an iBoy at full health. He's still alive. Wait, that's a double kill for iBoy. He's got the Ren stacks. No, no, no. It's still down to Viper being the better ADC. A triple kill for the legend of EDG.
There is a reason Viper has 8 MVP performances on Edward Gaming. And you know what? give him 9, push him to first place in the MVP standing, because Viper deserves it with performances like this. That was illegal, Mazel.
All right, just getting the kill on iBoy, setting up for that double into the triple. That was huge. The kiting, the movement, the fact that he's in a 1v3 at the end with like less than 500 health, and he has the confidence in his hands to continue pressing forward. But this is where the dominoes started to fall for RA.
Exactly. I mean, you're looking and going, hey, look, EDG, this isn't exactly your best fight. This is where Leyan can get really good value out of the Cyclone. But watch Viper. Like, he's dodging, he's ducking, he's dipping, he's dodging, he's diving. And Scout will actually pick up Leyan on the back of this because apparently we don't get time for replays where Viper pops the hell off.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about dodging, dipping, diving, ducking. Well, RH just got hit by the wrench, all right? They didn't do any of that, and they are getting peltered by this EDG team. This will be a tier 2 tower on the menu here.
Yeah, I don't even know if it's the wrench. I think it's the car that drives through him afterwards at this stage, because EDG, I mean, this is not looking pretty for Rare Adam. 22-7, 11,000 gold.
Oh,
Drive.
no.
Goodbye, friend.
He catches him at the end phase call, delivers Meiko right back to Viper's holding hands there. And Meiko taking some extra tower shots here. Cube might look for it. Cube can't get him. Oh, he gets him at the end. Okay. Okay, Cube. The cast comes out on the Leyan, though this will be T's and I's being crossed and dotted for EDG as they try to finish out this game.
I mean, it's full stops. It's commas. They've even added in a couple of those semicolons as well.
Ellipses.
Shows they've got a great understanding of the English grammars. But, yeah, well, they are an award.
They're on award 100%, which I think is funny because I always love and want to hear the conversation when those kinds of moments happen. Like, who calls out who for standing there first? Like, okay, who's the one that didn't check the award?
I mean, I think it was just EDG trying to see if they could be a bit greedy, but I think they're allowed to be. 13-1 on Viper.
What makes you say
The man is now 1 item away from full build, and you look across his counterpart in iBoy, who's 0 and 6, only just completed his 2nd item. Viper is 2 items ahead of this man.
That is,
it's absolutely absurd.
Yeah, that's really bad. That's a lot. That's a lot of damage, especially on a Kalista.
That is all the analysis is needed.
I don't
really
have
bad.
analysis. You don't come to my Hopium Emporium for analysis, all right? You come for the emotion. And right now, I'm feeling iBoy's emotions.
Give me the opium. I need the opium, Mazel. Give me the opium.
Give me the IV right now. I need it because RA are circling the drain at this point. And we said at the beginning of this series, they need to win every single series from here on out. It's not the way you want to start.
Yeah, I would like to point out that I think it's highly unlikely that they're going to win this series. I think our many worlds theory may not be true. I think so the problem was we accidentally looked at the Electron and it's now solidified. It's in its super state.
Yes.
So unfortunately, this is looking like Rare Adam won't actually hit their playoff stream. I like the fact that my passive interest in physics has now just become me making really terrible puns for Rare Adam every time. But I'm all for it. And I don't think anyone else is, but I'm all here.
I'm on board the Dagda cringe train. I am all for it, man. I'm absolutely. My cringe train is walking right next to yours. We're driving. I'm the conductor right next to you, man. I'm right there. We're hand in hand, my dude. Hand in hand.
Beautiful. Well, I think EDG will be going hand in hand now towards this next Baron. 15 seconds until that one is up. Rare Adam need a miracle and then another several to try and claw this game back, but EDG are not even giving them that opportunity. Full vision control set up here. Yuyanjia.
There's 3 members collapsing. RA are the ones that back away from it. They have 5 members in the bush there. Oh, man, it feels so bad. Viper pushing back into them, though. This is a nice little funnel here for RA to try to fight through. Strive has already taken out the fight. Cube is the first to fall in. Goes in with a big cyclone, but he does not have the damage. And that's Viper moving forward. Scout with a spear rush over the wall. He's trying to finish it off early. And iBoy goes down. A triple kill for Viper. That's it. That is all she wrote here. Super minions pouring into the top lane. There are pings from EDG. And it's just a slow and steady finish.
Yeah, they will move over towards mid lane. They'll be able to crack open this turret. Big wave in top side. Honestly, I don't even think they need to be here. Just kind of trying to create as many pressure points as possible. Now with that wave collapsing top, they will move underneath the turret as Viper. That's 2 towers.
Viper, that's too many tower shots, man. That's too many tower shots. You gotta stop. He does indeed with that stopwatch stop the time, and they do make it out of the base, so they're not going to put the finishing touches on now, but they've done some fatal damage.
I mean, is it necessary for EDG to pick up the dragon right now? No, but it's sterile. I know they like to taste. So now we're going to see if EDG can just try and close it out with this one, because, my word, this is absolute domination.
They were the ones set up. I mean, they didn't have iBoy, so I guess that's a big damage dealer gone in that situation, but they were the ones with the confident play into the bush, and then 3 members of EDG walk up, and all of a sudden RA are like a bunch of chickens with their heads cut off, trying to run around, figure out what's what.
I mean, I was convinced here that Viper was like, I've got this, we're going for it. Gets the kill out to iBoy, but unfortunately, Flash just wasn't quite up in time for him to like go underneath the tower with Scout here to finish off the 2 more members, because we've had an L field day when it comes towards the pentakills. We've actually released an LPL, you can watch during the break, the LPL YouTube channel. We've got a breakdown of all of our pentakills with some really nice T-tours.
It's actually
so
huge.
Have a look. It's so sick. It's really cool.
A lot of gala.
Yeah,
a lot of gala.
Yeah, I mean, the man who's picked up 4 pentakills, 1 discounted this year alone. Like, he's having a bit of a good time.
He is. Also, EDG having a bit of a good time. They will find a perfect pincer maneuver here from Scout on the back end. They are just taking a front to back, and it's working out so well. They're working out for a kill a minute here if they can continue to take these fights relentlessly. Cass comes over the wall, and everything is falling apart for RA. Viper will find 2 kills yet again. He won't find the 3rd. As more kills continue to move in, Strive will die here, and that's a triple kill for Viper for it feels like the 1,000,000th time. They are finishing the game. They will finish with more than a kill a minute, and they will lock in the summer playoffs. They have a potential to go to Worlds if they can push through the LPL summer.
A much stronger EDG will come out on top here against Rare Atom. An improved EDG from what we've seen from them even over the course of this year. Yuyanjia feels like such a great step up for this squad. And as you say, now with playoffs secured, that contention for that top 4 looks even more difficult right now. JDG taking down V5 looking great. EDG now looking reinvigorated. V5 top esports, RNG, the 5 at the top of the table look absolutely incredible right now.
For me, you can say on paper, see a matchup like this, where RA were 2-9 coming into the series, you can say, oh, well, EDG should win this whole handily. It should be easy, right? Like, they should come out and smash this. But that's not always what you get in these kinds of moments. So to see EDG step up in the way that we've seen them win the World Championship, even the way that we know is comfortable for them, to do so in a series against RA, especially towards the end of the split, that just solidifies some of that structure that I know and love for EDG. And I think it's a promising look forward, even if it is against RA bottom of the table.
Yeah, and I mean, look, it's been an absolutely incredible upgrade for EDG, with Jiejie kind of struggling that little bit, to have Yuyanjia come in and play back into that system. And it's someone who's very familiar with that system, as we have seen Yuyanjia over the course of 2020, a little bit in 2021, try to fit into this style. So honestly, I think great times ahead for Edward Gaming with Yuyanjia back in the roster. And I'm kind of delighted for Yuyanjia as well. Like, we saw Yuyanjia try and actually go a little bit further field. He actually used to play for Rare Atom, like when we look back in previous times. So the fact to see him kind of step up against his old team here as well is just fantastic.
Yeah, it really is. And again, just playing to kind of unlocking EDG, playing towards their win conditions. The Poppy, obviously, just a world and above for Yuyanjia. But also, we got to see in game 1, still able to be very mobile on the map and make a lot of macro decisions in the early game to set up EDG. And I do want to give a moment of silence for RA, it feels like, right? We saw in the first game, even if RA were getting beaten, it felt like iBoy himself was staying consistent with Viper. We were seeing some of the fights, some of the catch-outs that RA were working towards, but in that second game, it all just disappeared, and EDG showed up and smashed it home. I think it's an interesting conversation to see how the rest of the year pans out for RA, because there's got to be some changes coming there, Dagda.
Yeah. And I think that's the problem, is that, like, Rare Atom, unfortunately, just isn't quite working out for them. And now you're looking at iBoy, who struggled massively in this series, completely outclassed by Viper. I mean, you can see it in the damage, you can see it in the gold, and you can see it in the way that these early level 1, level 2 skirmishes went in both games. That Viper and Meiko just had the better of their counterparts. And I think that's where a lot of Rare Atom kind of fell down. Like, I think Strive had a good series overall. I think the Azir looked good. The Talia was definitely the one trying to put out the fires. Cube as well had some really good engages, but you just don't have any of the fire behind them when iBoy has been extinguished in that bottom side.
Look at those Viper stats, man. KDA of 31. The man started out 0-0-4. I'd already said it, but man, to come back, the mental strength, the fortitude, to pilot Kalista in these fights when a lot of the leads were being developed by other parts of the team, I think is huge. To end up with the almost 94% KP, the damage done, like all the numbers going favor. 209% damage to gold translation. Sorry. I think that's actually crazy, and it shows why we laud this guy so heavily, why he has won a world championship, why we say he's one of the best in the world. It's actually incredible.
I mean, even saw it in this game, right? Like the mechanics in that fight where he's able to run away from 3 or 4 members